So when I got the invitation to present the work of UNEP-FI and specifically talk about the European Energy Efficiency Finance Coalition, I was really trying to figure out how will it fit in the agenda of today. And I'm super happy that the speakers before me really did a great job to set up the scene. We heard about the increasing energy demand and the implications for economies, for productivity, and for health. We heard about EPCs and use of energy in on floor area and even in kilowatt hours. We heard about climate risks. So I think a common thread here, which will come out, is the topic of energy efficiency. And if you think that it may be a topic that does not really concern your organization directly, maybe by the end of this presentation you can have changed approach to it. Before getting into energy efficiency, just a couple of words about United Nations Environmental Programme Finance Initiative. It is a partnership between the UN and the global finance community. It was set up in 1992, began as a network of a few banks, and with time it attracted other investors, insurance. It grew to become a network of more than 500 members across the world with combined asset value of over $170 trillion. It is the first, or it was the first organization to convene financial sector players to talk about sustainability, to progress the sustainability agenda. It was the incubator of the Principles for Responsible Investment, Principles for Responsible Banking, and other sustainability-oriented initiatives within the finance sector and within the finance community. I think it's important also to mention that UNEP-FI convenes the financial institutions on a voluntary basis. We have a range of frameworks and initiatives, and the participation is entirely voluntary. A couple of things about the mission. So briefly, three main topics or missions or goals for UNEP-FI: to catalyze action, to engage with policymakers and other stakeholders, because the financial community cannot operate in a vacuum, so it's important always to keep the stakeholder dialogue going on, and to provide resources, tools, guidance to the financial institutions. Many of them are open source, all of them are science-based. We convene a lot of peer learning and knowledge exchange, and I'm also going to give you an example with energy efficiency about that in a minute. And we foster a community of financial institutions and other stakeholders to come together on events like this and exchange ideas and see what can be done, what can be improved to actually implement the ideas around sustainable development in many sectors. And let me now zoom in on the topic of energy efficiency. So in the European context, it is definitely a pillar of the efforts to decarbonize, the targets to decarbonize the European Union by 2050, and to ensure the EU remains competitive. In the global space, energy efficiency is equally important and relevant for decarbonization and competitiveness. Just a reminder, at COP28, more than 130 governments pledged that they need to double the rate of energy efficiency improvement by 2030. Within the European context, energy efficiency first principle is one of the strategic pillars of the European energy strategy, and it also has legal standing even in or through the European Energy Efficiency Directive. So with all that in mind and all the benefits of implementing energy efficiency, this is not just about making the climate better and the environment better. There's a lot of health and economic opportunities with this as well. In Europe is now very trendy to talk about the competitiveness, and needless to say, when you gain edge in energy efficiency, you are also gaining a competitiveness edge, production costs are optimized, exposure to fluctuality of prices improves, and all of these processes make the investments much more attractive and stimulate the market demand for energy efficiency in industry, in the public sector, in the transport sector, and in households. So it's a topic across the board. And obviously, there's some funding needs to achieve those multiple benefits. I took a snapshot of one of the reports of the International Energy Agency. This is focused on EU. The top bar goes between 400 and 500 billions of dollars a year, and the orange part of the bars is investment in energy efficiency, which translates to roughly about $200 billion a year in the European context for energy efficiency investments. There are a few other studies giving similar results or estimates. And the question is, of course, where would the money come from? Very likely from the private sector. This includes the households and the residential sector. But this cannot happen in a vacuum without the support of public authorities, of national governments and relevant policies. So this is one of the areas in which the European Energy Efficiency Financing Coalition, which Luca has been super helpful in advertising since yesterday at dinner, comes in place. It's an evolution of an initiative which now expands over 3 layers. It's convened by the European Commission with the objective to mobilize private finance for energy efficiency. The 3-layered approach has several meanings. First, it has the support of the highest levels of government. 27 EU member states signed a joint declaration to support the work of the coalition. So there is high-level buy-in from the European Commission. There is an expert level where technical working groups will be formed, similar to what EFIG did, to produce knowledge pieces, recommendations, white papers. But I think the practical point of this coalition and the evolution, its evolution lies with the other layer that is created, namely the national hubs. Because no idea, recommendation, white paper, scenario, model analysis would make a difference unless it's implemented on a national level. So by signing the joint declaration, all member states have committed to set up a national hub that will convene different stakeholders from the policy arena, from the finance sector and from the industry to actually make that work and make that happen. A couple of important notes I shouldn't forget to say is that it was launched last year, and this year in a few weeks the work program will be adopted by a high-level General Assembly. Currently, the coalition consists or includes 49 financial institutions as members, and we hope that this membership will grow. There will be a second call for financial institutions to become members of the coalition during or shortly after the General Assembly in May. So you may Google and find the website of the coalition where the call will be published. EMF is a member. National Bank of Greece is a member, Nordea is a member, and we hope to have a much broader outreach with the second call for financial institutions. Also, we expect non-financial institutions to join the coalition as associated members, and there will be also a call for experts in the coming weeks in this regard. Outside of the work with the coalition, one of the key areas of UNEP-FI's operations is to provide knowledge, to connect experts, to connect practitioners, and provide guidance and tools in the forms of reports and webinars and other different methods. And currently we have an energy efficiency finance workshop series going on. Again, the focus is Europe, but if your time zone allows it, everyone is welcome to join. We had already a member from Ecuador joining. I guess they're also curious what Europe is doing on energy efficiency. And both initiatives, the coalition and this kind of workshop series, helps us build an ecosystem around the importance of energy efficiency investments, and more importantly, to ensure that investors have the confidence to invest in energy efficiency. Because without this investor confidence, as many of you already mentioned before, it would be difficult to scale up anything in the sustainability agenda. The current cycle of workshops is ongoing until June. We have various modules and topics. We usually have a regulatory update from the European Commission. We have an interactive case study, and we have usually one or two representatives from the finance industry to present best case examples. So with that, we try to progress on the knowledge creation, on the knowledge sharing among members. And one of the things we also insist on is when the members of the coalition and the UNEP-FI banks get the invitation to these events, that they forward it further in their organization, because energy efficiency is a topic that not only the ESG or sustainability departments need to understand. It's really about the policy the loan officers, the risk analysts, and we encourage this exchange sharing within the organization and beyond the usual suspects from the ESG and sustainability departments. The presentation will be shared, I think, so these are interactive links to a few of the UNEP-FI resources on decarbonization of real estate, target setting. We create those in cooperation or within the frameworks of some of our initiatives, such as the Net Zero Banking Alliance. We cooperate with the Global Alliance for Building and Construction. And when we talk about real estate decarbonization, we look at it also through the perspective of circular economy. Circular economy is an enabler for responsible banking, and we have sectoral guidelines. One of them is for the building and construction sector. So I chose this, assuming where the audience comes from and assuming that these may be the most interesting for you. I also try to keep it short. I'll be available until tomorrow afternoon. Happy to answer any questions, and thank you for your attention.